She said that American soccer fans, most of them aren't smart. They don't know the game. They don't understand.
Gio.
That guy Gazpacho.
Sports can take a lame gorilla, okay?
Advice, did you know that Arsenal died?
These got me buzzing.
Up the toffees. It's hard to up them anyway.
I'm gonna comment on that. But Nick, the Manchester Derby is ahead of us. The Manchester Derby, the classic matchup of two historic teams, one a lot more historic than the other. But one team is certainly the favorite here, and is Manchester City, coming off of that huge win in the FA Cup, where Kevin De Bruyne and Haaland look unstoppable versus Luton. I don't know if Manchester United, after a disappointing result against Fulham, have really much momentum going into this game. You would hope that if Haaland didn't get hurt and they were able to get a win versus Fulham, this would be a clash of Manchester United coming in with momentum up against the big boys, Man City. But right now, it seems like Man City is rolling up their momentum. Manchester United is back on their heels here, and this could get ugly here. Nick, Manchester United, no Haaland, no hope. Is that kind of what you're seeing here?
Not only no hope, but like legitimate questions. Who the hell is going to start at the 9 for them? Like, they started that random kid. I no idea who he was before that game after Haaland got hurt. I guess you go back to him, play Rashford at 9, and now your wings are Garnacho and Antony. Like, is that the recipe to beat that back four and Ederson of Man City and Rodri shielding? I don't know.
No.
I have no idea what the game plan is. I think your best hope, keep Rashford on the left, put Garnacho on the right, and pray that Onana has a day. I don't know. Like, Onana has a day and you can hit him on the counter. It is a derby, so I don't expect like a 6-2 or anything like that. But I think in the reverse, didn't Man City win like 3-0? So I don't know. It's going to be tough sledding if you're a Man U fan. Haaland was their guy who was in form, and now he's out. I don't know. They did beat them last year in January, so at the time when Arsenal and Man City were in a race. So I guess you can take some hope from that, but I don't know how you're looking at today's result in the FA Cup and having any sort of semblance of hope if you're Man U. It's going to suck. It's going to be... I don't know if it's a win-win for me or if this is going to be the worst weekend of my life having to cheer for the Red Devils, because obviously, I mean, it's fun to cheer on their pain, but I don't give a shit about Man U at all, like, aside from hatred. I want them to do poorly, but the title race is way more important as a Gunner. I want them to win this game. I want them to get a result from this game. If they lose, I still have a good time, I guess, but I don't know. It's looking bleak for the weekend. Might have to resign myself to cheering for a hopeless team.
Yeah, Mike, for Manchester City coming into this game, you're feeling awfully good. Manchester United, like we said, are a bit back on their heels after that embarrassing performance versus Fulham. When we thought they had momentum, it may have turned out that it was just Haaland finishing chances for them and getting them on the board. Manchester City have not looked necessarily their strongest in their last 2 Premier League fixtures, but after a huge result, 6 goals, gets the confidence up, and De Bruyne and Erling Haaland just absolutely filling the stat sheet. Those are the 2 players you do not want having confidence going into this game. Big derby. They know they can't drop points. They know they can't take anything easy at this point in this title race. And Manchester United are Manchester United. They are not an amazing defensive team, and they are not in amazing form. Are we set up for an embarrassing result for the Red Devils?
I think so. Yeah. Kind of surprised that Man City didn't rotate more for this FA Cup fixture today. But it seemed like Pep might have taken it as an opportunity to get some dudes in form, grease up the wheels a little bit, and it worked like a charm. De Bruyne and Haaland, Shaq and Kobe, whatever you want to call it, that's a dynamic duo, and I'm sure they'll take that into this weekend against Man U. Man U is going to be completely impotent here. I don't know where any of the goals are going to come from.
Gross.
Martial's not even up. It is gross, dude, but it's not going to be as gross as their style of play. I promise you that. Anthony Martial is not even going to be an option. He's still hurt, so no true striker available in the roster. I think it's time for Scott McTominay to assume his true position. Throw him up top. Let him battle with the boys.
I see the vision.
At least you get some physicality. Wow. I'm not bald, but I might be a soccer genius.
I do think that this is just the stupid fan in me talking, but in my head, like there's a finite amount of goals you score each season. And did Man City use too much of them against Luton? Who knows? Maybe you got to save some of those for the weekend, dog. You know what I mean? So there's faith out there, Man U fans. Come on, we put up an effort.
I will say, if you are Manchester United, you have had a rather tough season. You're in 6th, so you're not necessarily in the worst spot. And everybody thinks you're going to lose here. So if you go out and you beat Manchester City when they have everybody clicking and scoring goals, and they're in such a crazy tight title battle, and this game ends up fucking them up, you've just won yourself the league. That is your guys' trophy for the season. If you fuck up Manchester City's season by a crazy result here and beating them, good job, Manchester United. You have done what you need to do. It's the same as just beating your rival in football in college. If you beat them and fuck up their season, you're feeling all right with your season. Is that not what Manchester United are just aiming to do here? Is just fuck up their rival?
I mean, that's the aim. Like,
No shit,
what have they showed zero accuracy this season for their aims or their goals? Or
But if they do,
they can go down as legends, sure. I mean, maybe they'll finish 7th with this result. So it might just be all bad.
listen, sign Sean Mills. Let Højlund tell him what to do. They're similar enough. Maybe he will continue that purple patch of goals for Manchester United. But let's get off that topic before we get any further into the Sean Mills discussion. I feel like we know what's going to happen in that game if we start mentioning Sean Mills as the only hope for Manchester United.
A miracle?
Just waiting on a miracle.